All right, y'all, we're going to take a look at this boudoir photography business today and see, if these two Google searches, local search and city search, have BSS, yes or no. And we're back here in the GBC universe where we're taking declining boudoir photographers to the #1 boudoir photographer in their city. As always, our North Star is FSIC, full spectrum intent capture. More of that in the, pinned video, home video, somewhere around here. And that's because FSIC explains why all boudoir photographers either rise or fall. So we got our FSIC graph, in white down there. Highest intent people on the left. Google search, social search, people search for a boudoir photographer in their city like right now. And our videos here focus on that, talking about BSS. And over on the right, the lowest intent people that ain't searching for boudoir right now, and most of them don't even know what the heck it is. They are got to reach them with the interruption ads via, Instagram, Facebook. Our sister brand talks about that, Boudoir FB Ad Doctor, where we talk about BLCS. And we currently only work with boudoir photographers running more than 10 grand a month in boudoir Facebook ads. All right, so BSS, boudoir search sameness. That's when a boudoir photographer has either 0 or 1 slots on page 1 of Google. So 0 slots, yeah, we're dying a fast death here because we'd be on page 2 or deeper. And we already have the data. We know approximately 80% of Google searches never even hit page 2. So basically, if we're on, approximately 80% of Google searches are page 1 and done searches. So we care about that. That's the bulk of the market. So we got to dominate page 1. And even if we got 1 slot on page 1, that's still not good enough. It's because, there's 10 organic slots there. There's going to be approximately 9 other boudoir photography businesses. And as a result, we're looking the same as everyone else. And guess what a buyer behavior is going to be doing? They're just going to be clicking every single link on page 1. Approximately 80% of them. All page 1, contacting everyone, never even going to page 2. Price shopping everyone, negotiating, uh, bringing down margins, killing margins for everyone. And we do not want any of that either. Now, 0 or 1 slots on page 1 of Google is actually not normal. It's accepted, it's common, but it's not normal. It's actually a symptom of 2 deeper root causes. And I know this is not normal because I went from 0 out of 10 slots page 1 on Google to 9 out of 10 slots page 1 on Google in only 10 days with a new strategy we developed. Now, these 2 deeper root causes are 1, market saturation, which everyone knows about. Just more peeps over time, get a new iPhone, get a new camera, and they decide to throw up their Google My Business page, saying they shoot boudoir, their website saying they shoot boudoir, and they're also start posting the mom Facebook group saying they do boudoir photo shoots now. So it's more number of sellers over time to the same number of buyers, and really, really, makes it difficult for every other boudoir photographer in the city. And as a result, the second thing we care about, and the second deeper root cause, is the false belief of page 1 equality. This is one that basically nobody knows about. It's kind of where a lot of boudoir photographers simply agree or kind of automatically accept that, every boudoir photographer gets either 0 or 1 slots page 1 on Google. And if you got it, sometimes you don't. Or boudoir photographers enter, you get relegated to page 2, which means invisible to approximately 80% of boudoir buyers who never even go to page 2. They're page 1 only, peeps. And just kind of, well, hopefully somebody deletes their website. Hopefully I can move back up to page 1, but no, is incorrect. Google will actually give us as many page 1 slots as we want to put in the effort to acquire. And I know that because I went from 0 out of slots page 1 on Google to 9 out of 10 slots page 1 on Google in only 10 days. So got to break through the false belief to then see if there's, solutions out there outside the mental cage or the brain cage when we've been accepting page 1 equality. And yeah, in 2 pictures, we'll see the solution. Now, boudoir photographer with boudoir search sameness is a disappearing boudoir photographer. So yeah, if we got 0 slots page 1, we're page 2 or deeper, we're visible to approximately 80% of the market. We're definitely disappearing. If we got 1 slot page 1, we're looking the same as everyone else. We're basically invisible. We're still disappearing. And as disappearing boudoir photographer, this is the, kind of warning light, the flashing signal of telling us our boudoir photography business itself is on the path to disappearing. Now, thankfully, we do have a solution. Thank the universe, we've discovered that BSS is treated with social search saturation, aka S cubed methodology. So it works exactly as the name says, social search saturation. We actually saturate social search with the highest intent buyer, boudoir buyer keywords. And when we do that, it's kind of like the snow on the backside of the Andes Mountains that then melts into small streams, small rivers. Andes Mountains down there in South America. And once you get enough snow, enough water going down, eventually it flows into the Amazon River, which is page one on Google. But we got to focus on getting enough snow up top, enough social search saturation for then to then flow down onto Google page one search. So, and this has been the only solution I've seen for boudoir photographers that can successfully fight against a deeper root cause of market saturation and give boudoir photography business a chance to actually grow in the face of more and more market saturation, and give that chance in a relatively quick time frame. The only other solution I've seen to this to fight against market saturation is have a large, massive, well-known brand in the area. But dude, that takes like 5 to 10 years minimum. We ain't got that time. We got AI taking peeps jobs. We gotta get cooking. So SQ methodology is the only thing I've seen that can help with that. And the estimates from what I've looked at, I believe it can help create a well-known brand approximately 8x faster than normal methods. Now, kind of an example of fighting back against market saturation successfully. Let's say we are in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. There's approximately 1 million boudoir photographers there. We are one of them. Everyone's got their website saying they shoot boudoir, trying to rank page one on Google. And guess what? We're like, all right, we're in price shop to death. Can't get on page one. Dude, our only chance, either build a brand, takes 5 to 10 years, or something that could do relatively quickly, SQ methodology. So we're like, all right, we'll do SQ methodology. We'll crank it up to the max and go maximum extreme. And let's say we take up the first 300 slots for the highest intent boudoir buyer keywords on social search. And when we do that, let's say it flows onto Google, and we get the first 300 slots for the highest intent boudoir buyer Google searches as well. And so, anytime a buyer searches for boudoir in our city on social search, the social media networks, or on Google, we're basically the only one they can find because Google is 10 organic slots per page. And, so that's like 30 pages is us. They basically got to go to page 31 to find any of our competitors. So if they can really only find us, even though there's 999,999 other boudoir photographers, whose business is still growing? Obviously ours. And then if they, our other competitors, 999,999, they're basically all disappearing, slowing down, exiting the market. And so this is an extreme version of what ASCII methodology could do, or what it could enable. But again, this is the only solution I've seen for boudoir photographers that is even close that this is possible. Now, once treated with SQ methodology, we have page one visibility. So we get our initial benefit, more links on page one. We get our second, and now our second initial benefit here is every new link we get on page one actually kicks competing boudoir photographers off page one, effectively making them invisible. A lot of boudoir photographers actually like this second initial benefit the best, because we're actually relegating our competitors page one deeper, effectively invisible to approximately 80% of the market, who never even hits page two. They do page one and done in Google searches, and make them disappearing boudoir photographers, and eventually force them to exit the market. So it's actually a really good second initial benefit. Now, page one visibility activates boudoir search visibility for us. So this is where the GBC universe recommends to hit the 3 out of 10 minimum slots page one Google search. And once we hit those, actually, basically everyone else will have one slot for themselves, page one on Google. So we'll be dominating all those peeps. We'll look way more. Google recommended us way more. And also in the rare case, someone else has 2 slots, page one Google search, we'll be dominating them as well, so we'll have 3. So that's why the GBC universe recommends us hit 3 out of 10 slots. No, wrong way. A boudoir photographer with BSV is a visible boudoir photographer. So we got our full, micro universe here. A disappearing boudoir photographer with boudoir search sameness is caused by the dual horns of market saturation and the false belief of page one equality. We finally have a solution. Thank the universe, S cubed methodology. We achieve page one visibility. We become visible boudoir photographers with boudoir search visibility. Now my results here utilizing S cubed methodology for myself. I want to rank for the term BLCS boudoir. So I did that and I utilized S cubed methodology. That's the results I got. So going down to the organic slots here. We got organic slot 1, Instagram, me. Organic slot 2, me. Slot 3, me. Slot 4, me. Slot 5, me. Slot 6, me. Slot 7, me. Slot 8, me. Slot 10, me. And did all this without even having a website. So I'm from 0 to 10 slots page 1 on Google search to 9 out of 10 slots page 1 on Google search, all in 10 days, purely utilizing S cubed methodology. So these were my results that I got. All right, so now we're here, the main event. You're gonna see that this boudoir photography business has BSS for their local search. Gonna see if they have it for their city search. All right, so here we go. Boudoir photographer, Roseville, California. So let's see what we got here. All right, we got one. Let's see. All right, we got two. All right, so we got 2 out of 10, so we do not have BSS for the local search, but we did not hit the recommended GBC minimum of 3 out of 10. So now let's look at the full city search. Sacramento. So let's see here. Let's see, we got nope, 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 nope. Nope. All right, so it looks like we got 0 out of 10 here for Sac. All right, so we're missing a bunch of Sacramento peeps. All right, so final verdict, we got, well, we do not have BSS for Roseville, the local search, but we did not meet the GBC minimum, recommended minimum of 3 out of 10. And for the city search, yeah, we got BSS. We're at 0 out of 10 there. And we're actually, we also did not meet the recommended GBC minimum of 3 out of 10 organic page 1 Google slots. So if you're a boudoir photographer and you've got BSS boudoir search sameness for your own business, you're seeing the market's getting more and more saturated over time, and you feel like you're a disappearing boudoir photographer, or gonna become disappearing, because of what we'll talk about in like 10 seconds. And you also see that the page 1 equality is a false belief, like everyone kind of automatically accepted because there was no like word to describe it, to say, hey, I believe this is true or not true, but now we got a word to describe it. And you're seeing the way AI is creeping in, more and more people being laid off, which, what was the last time that happened? COVID, what happened? Massive influx of boudoir photographers, massive influx, massive supply, all fighting for the same eyeball, approximately the same number of buyers. So it's getting harder and harder for each boudoir photographer that enters the market. And you're saying, okay, it looks like I do need the S cubed methodology to kind of preempt or prepare myself for AI pushing more boudoir photographers into the market, which means there's going to be more competition for page 1 on Google search. But if I can preempt that, get there already, and it's probably already happening right now as we speak, then we can be prepared to not become a disappearing boudoir photographer. We can achieve page 1 visibility, become a visible boudoir photographer, even though more are probably going to be joining, and achieve boudoir search visibility, and get the extra bonuses on the back end where kind of the more these thematic keyword columns are attached to our brand throughout social, things like that, social search. And the higher chance we show up in, AI overview search here at the top of Google searches, and the higher chance we show up among AI search in general, you know, ChatGPT search, Microsoft Copilot search, Google Gemini search, Claude search, Perplexity search, whoever. When we have these like thematic keyword pillars entwined with us across all our social channels, ranking on Google, this is where the AIs pull from. So we're increasing the probability to show up in all these searches as a back-end benefit. And we're also noticing that if someone else starts using S-cubed methodology for their boudoir photography business before us in our city, all those front-end benefits, page one Google, kicking competitors off could happen to us. And those back-end benefits, them showing up in AI search instead of us. And then, well, you wouldn't be able to work with me because I'm only working with one person per city. So you'd have to figure out S-cubed methodology on your own and then implement it all on your own. And you'd have to actually meet the work output of the other boudoir photographer using it in conjunction with me and exceed us to catch up and overtake us before we overtake page one on Google, kind of push it as far as we want to. And so you've decided, all right, it's better to simply be a first mover because you need this on your way to becoming the #1 boudoir photographer in your city. So if that's you, shoot me a DM when I open up for new patient intake. Right now the hospital's closed. My DMs are closed. Cannot get in even if you wanted to. But shoot me a DM for when I do open up the doors. And we'll see if you qualify. We gotta have some questions. Gotta make sure I'm not working with anyone else in your city. And yeah, we'll see if you qualify.